Welcome to another episode of Scoundrels, Inc. We're talking about the Bad Batch. We're in Season 2, talking about Episode 11, Metamorphosis. And we have a special guest here, fellas. It's the one and only Kevin Smets. Man, thanks for making so much time for us.
Yeah, you know, it was a long commute coming up from San Diego, and you know, it's nice to be a special guest. You know, it's going to be like Heather Locklear from Melrose Place.
Okay.
It was all, for some reason, she was on the show almost the entire run, but they always said, and special guest star Heather Locklear. So I'm the Heather Locklear of Scoundrels, Inc.
And with
So
that,
he'll be back next week.
No.
With that said, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. Pretty please with cherry on top. And if you're a fan of podcasts, we have a podcast feed as well on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcasts. And follow us on the socials: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and I guess YouTube qualifies as a social these days.
MySpace and Friendster as
Yeah,
well.
I
I set those up.
Yeah,
Which I will say brings us to an important point. We here at Scoundrels Inc. Want to issue a statement regarding audio listeners. You're valid. We love you. We appreciate you.
He finally heard about that review.
You're all wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people.
You're a
Except
wonderful
Steve.
human being. Yeah.
Except Steve. That Steve guy could fuck right off.
Oh, no.
What if half of our viewers and listeners are
Steve?
named Steve?
Then you know what? I don't want to be on the podcast anymore.
I literally just, for some reason, when I need like a random name, I always think of Steve.
You do? I think of Bill.
I don't even know any
Bill.
Steves.
I think of Hermione.
Bill.
What?
Really?
For a random name?
Hermione Corfell?
Yeah.
Wow, that's very...
Future friend of the
Weird.
show?
Future friend of the show.
That's how we should refer to every single cast member.
Future friend of the show.
Dave Filoni, future friend of the show.
You never know.
Heather Locklear.
You gotta, right. You gotta put it out there. You never know what can happen. You know, you never know. All right, let's dive into this episode because it was a fun one. I had a great time watching this immediately after the Mandalorian. What you got?
Yeah, do you have my piece of paper where it says Phil?
Hell no, dude.
no.
I
I'm
tear
just
that
kidding.
Up.
Love
Yeah,
the episode.
yeah.
Well,
I'm
hold on. Kev, I changed your mind on last episode, didn't I?
No, remember I said valiant effort, and
said
then I
valiant
tweeted
effort,
a picture of me holding up the filler episode. But you did make me appreciate it more, and I was glad that for my friend that liked it. You know what I mean? But this episode,
It was
maybe I was riding high because I watched it right after Mandalorian, but I was just feeling all sorts of love for Star Wars, and I really enjoyed it. And we'll get into it. And I really enjoyed the not twist, but I mean, I guess it was a twist, right? Where we realized what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So when I finished Mandalorian, I went, I should have done this in the other order. There's no way.
You know what? I kind of like.
you can't wait for the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Right, I agree. But I'm like, there's no way that it's going to live up to Mandalorian.
I didn't even think about the order. Yeah.
And then I saw the thumbnail, and it's the video game commando helmet
Yeah.
with the blue T visor.
Commando,
I went,
yeah.
oh, never mind. This is going to be great.
Yeah, I think this episode, from top to bottom, is just stellar and visually. I mean, the animation is insane. One of the opening establishing shots was like a hallway shot, and I was like, is this is animation? I was watching with one of my roommates, and even she said it was like, this is insane. I was like, yeah, that's an insane shot.
How many pop brownies did you have when you were confused about animation?
-0. But also like just the sound design, even this whole story within this episode it's absolutely one of my favorites of season 1 and season 2. Spoiler alert, Zilla Beast, hell yeah, it was the way it was constructed and executed. This whole episode was, man, it was just a great night of Star Wars, or morning, however you watched it.
Or drive, or commute.
Right,
or commute for Brandon.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, and
yeah.
last week, you and I talked about how we hadn't been back to Mount Tantus yet.
Yes.
So I was so glad
Yeah.
that after that, we finally came back to Mount Tantus.
Yeah.
Your landlord's back.
Oh, is he really? Hello? Look out the door. I can't.
I'm not looking out that door.
Close the door.
Did a gust of wind open it?
Must have.
That's
Oh,
terrifying.
because it was slightly open. That's what it was.
Oh my
The
god.
door is ajar.
Holy crap, that was kind of
The
scary.
door.
Yeah,
is
I was
ajar.
like, because when you said my landlord was here, I was like, well, that's definitely possible. It's happened once before, and then no one was walking through,
I know
and I
that's
couldn't
called
see.
that's called a callback.
Yeah, 100%. But then I thought like that could actually be my landlord, and then no one was walking through the door, and I was like, what?
That's what happens when you store your friends and family's remains in bricks and put them in the wall.
yeah.
I'm starting to realize I'm the first line of defense for this show.
Yeah, we're
Actually,
kind of screwed based on you reacted.
You're the pawn. You're the pawn. We just want you
First
to
line of
die.
defense. You mean
You're the sacrificial lamb, bro.
Yeah.
Listen,
You die so we can escape and live.
some of us have to be the B1 battle
it's
droids.
just Frank and I think we can outrun you.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't. I'm fast.
Okay. So Brandon, what'd you think of this episode?
I thought Star Wars Godzilla was pretty cool.
Yeah.
/ Doomsday / I think there was a Pacific Rim
I was waiting for
monster
a
that
doomsday joke from
Yeah,
you.
it's a Godzilla beast.
Godzilla Dooms Beast of the day.
Godzilla.
You remember the Clone Wars episodes with it or no?
No, I don't watch that.
You've never seen Clone Wars either?
I've seen some Clone Wars.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, if you've seen that, like, yeah, it was a very.
If you've
cool
seen my
callback.
Clone Wars,
Wow, that's a callback. That's a callback.
it's his last episode.
the
We
last
gotta call
one.
everything back.
There's no Zillow beast.
It's
in my
not his
KOTOR
last time.
movie.
This is his first guest
Would you
appearance.
consider?
Yeah, it's
putting
his
the Zilla
first
Beast
guest
in there?
appearance.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's his first guest appearance. We have to call out every transition.
pretty cool, though.
Every segue.
I liked how it looked though.
That's right. I forgot about that.
When it grew really big.
We gotta hold our mics too.
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna hold my mic.
Oh, that's just
Oh, my
what the
Lord.
audio.
You know, I
listeners need.
actually never held my mic.
That's
so-
right. You've
Yeah,
never.
yeah, yeah.
You had a.
Remember this? This is old school right here, dude.
We only did that for one episode.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did. Thank
I
you.
don't even remember that.
Everybody mute your audio listeners. Steve. All right, I'm back.
I like the way it looked once it got really big.
Yeah.
You know, and when they had it like captured, like at the end of the episode, it was in like some big Bacta tank or whatever. It did kind of even look like, you know, like how they had like King Ghidorah and Godzilla, King of the Monsters, frozen in the ice.
Do you say Ghidorah?
I say Ghidorah.
I'm a Ghidorah guy.
You're a Ghidorah guy.
Okay. I just
Ghidorah.
whatever. I don't know. I
Ghidra?
don't-
Some people say Ghidra.
Ghidra's
Haven't
fine.
seen that
Oh,
movie.
How do you guys
Ghidra,
How do you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
feel about Godzilla, King of the Monsters?
Okay, so
I thought it was
when-
King of Monsters, right? And it was a weird thing that they called it King of Monsters.
That was King of the
No,
Monsters.
King of the Monsters. It's named after the original. Well, the 1956 version,
Yeah.
but
It's complicated. Anyways, they
Like
got the physics
Ray.
all wrong. He moves too fast in that movie. I think I've talked about that on this show before, actually.
have we?
I don't
wanna
really.
have that
Yeah, let's just say he did.
Maybe I did. Maybe I dreamt about it. I have a lot of weird dreams lately.
You know, last episode you're bitching about Jurassic World. Now it's Godzilla King
That
of
was
the
me,
Monsters.
basically.
the monsters move too fast. They got it right in the first one, and then they fixed it in Godzilla versus Kong. But in the middle, they go too fast.
Can I have a question? If we're talking about size, an ant. This is fast. It would if I see an ant, I'm not like, I'm gonna smash the ant. So why? Because you're bigger than something, or does the ant see things slower in slow motion?
Because think about it. Wait,
It's Einstein's theory of relativity.
no.
E equals MC squared is actually.
I
what
think
it-
the best
You
way
know,
to
Brandon,
think
you're
about
supposed to yes and.
but not when it's a lie, and I'm the science guy.
why?
Bill,
Just because it's big,
Bill.
why would it move so slow?
Think about it though, because like if you look at King Kong, right? He's so huge.
Is that a real
If-
creature
if
in person?
Yeah, if King Kong is, you see him like going to slap Godzilla and he's going like at this, to you it looks slow because he's so big, but that hand is probably going like hundreds of miles per hour. You know what I mean? He's not gonna like what, like he'll like rip a hole in the freaking, he'll like go like Mach 20.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You can't
Sonic
do that.
Boom.
Yeah.
it's only twice as fast
Sonic
as Maverick
Boom.
went in Top Gun Maverick. So, anyways, this episode was
Star Wars.
What are we talking about?
the Zillow.com beast, and
Anyways, like he moved at a good
Zillow.com
velocity.
actually is why we decided to move to San Diego. We were in San Diego and we Zillowed the apartments down there. Like, it's cheaper than what we're paying here.
This
And
episode is
it's
brought
bigger
to you
and better.
by ZillowBeast.com. Find your place in the galaxy.
wanna
Now with a new
Photoshop
image,
Zillow Beast on top of my
Navarro.
building.
that's right. I just thought, first of all, the sequence and everything that took place on the ship.
Aliens.
Well,
It reminded me so much of Aliens.
Yeah, very well done. Like the music,
I thought it was going to be a Rathtar.
One could hope.
but it was not. It was.
It would have been a fun callback if one of them was like, "They're not hauling Raftars on this freighter, are they?"
That would have been.
would've been
fun.
good.
That would have been good.
I
That'd
know.
be good.
King Piranha is not into those anymore.
Or yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Timeline broken.
3 going to King Piranha.
But I think really the most interesting part for me in this episode was Mount Tantus.
Yeah.
Everything, all the
Yeah.
conversation with the Kaminoans and Dr. Hemlock.
Doing
I get
cloning
it.
for
Like,
the Emperor.
You're an evil guy.
specifically.
What a voice. So creepy. He was such a good voice actor too. I've now already forgot the name.
Jimmy
of it.
Simpson.
Jimmy Simpson.
Jimmy Simpson.
Jimmy.
Very good.
Slipping Jimmy
I've seen
Simpson.
him on a red carpet before too.
Slippy Jimmy.
But his just delivery of lines is just like so,
Future friend of the show.
Future friend of the show, Jimmy Simpson.
Oozes just oddness
Oh, yeah.
and weirdness because you know he's into some weird
do I know him-
Kino Loy shit.
I recognize him.
He is in Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
yeah, he's
Okay.
the weird guy.
He's one of the what do you
brothers.
call
the
them?
McPoyles?
McBoyles, yeah. McPoyles,
Whatever it is.
whatever they are.
Yeah, okay.
He's one of them.
But Sean, talk to me about Mount Tantus and
Also
everything.
in something
that,
recent.
What's going
that I
on?
saw.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've already done the whole Thrawn trilogy stuff. Mount Tantus shows up in the Thrawn trilogy, the original Thrawn trilogy, written by good old Slippy Timothy
Timothy
Zahn.
Zahn. Heard of him.
Heir to the Empire trilogy, I should say, because now there's 2 Thrawn trilogies. But yeah, I think that I've at least speculated that I'm pretty sure this is where we're gonna like Palpatine's projects involving Snoke and his clones and trying to clone Force users, where it all stems from, right? Because we know that at some point he's got to make a clone of himself, and I think it's got to be sooner rather than later at this point. It's got to be before Return of the Jedi.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
like how long were those clones of his like lying around?
Well, we know he had made a few, so and failed.
Yeah, because he still has versions of Snoke lying around.
Right.
So
And Snoke was like a proto clone, right?
We're not sure, but if my opinion of Snoke is that he's a separate project.
But I feel like Snoke had to be around before Return of the Jedi also.
Possibly.
What's his deal? I still don't
We don't know.
I do want to say though the commandos and everything with Mount Tantus. This seems like such. It's like one of those. It's a very dark sector of the Empire and very menacing because even when further into the episode when they're going after the Zilla Beast and they go into that town and they're rounding up everybody,
you know,
they come in with 3 other Star Destroyers and they know exactly how to subdue it and they take it up into the Star Destroyer.
In every World War, like the Germans did that too. They had
Yeah,
a full sect of like doctors and stuff where they would be like, oh, let's just test this drug to see if it mutes pain and like just torture this person. Oh, okay, let's touch. Like there was some creepy shit going on.
Well, and
this is exactly. I got those definite vibes
Yeah.
from this part of the.
Dr.
Even the
Hemlock.
Japanese did it during World War II too. It's crazy.
Oh, the
I'm sure that even we have fucking weirdos in America too. I'm not just saying
Well, we
all
did.
the
It's
bad
happened.
guys
right.
from the war, but
the,
you know what I mean.
The stuff that, not that this is a World War II podcast, but the stuff that went on with the Japanese is far worse than the experiments done by the Germans.
Wow. Just gives me the
But
creeps.
but here's the crazy thing: we're the ones that covered it up, not the Japanese.
Well,
So that's fucked up. But
then we dropped a nuke on him. So
2.
yeah, 2.
2. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, it's I love the Mount Tantus is like the Area 51.
Oh yeah.
of-
Good call. Good call.
It's the back in Legends, the Maw was where the Death Stars were built,
Yeah.
and so this is kind of filling this, and it was like kind of their weapons research place. This is somewhat serving as
Maw
their
installation.
Yeah,
I remember that.
This somewhat serving as their
Why are they-
replacement for that.
Why are they keeping the Zilla? What do they have? What's their interest in it?
Well, we know from
the armor?
from the Clone Wars and
Yeah.
from this episode, they mentioned that they want to use the Zillo skin and plates for armor.
Yeah.
Because despite popular belief, some creatures in Star Wars are able to resist blaster bolts.
Give me a break, dude. Blaster
A
bolts.
fantasy story?
Come
What?
on,
That's
dude.
crazy.
We didn't hit it.
for
Even
anyone,
in Guardians of the Galaxy, in the first opening, the second one, they're shooting the thing for like 15 minutes. They can't do anything until Drax pops in the middle of it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
pops
yeah,
out of
yeah.
it. But
for anyone wondering,
yeah, you have to go to the other episode.
if you watched the last episode and you heard our conversation about creatures being resistant to blaster bolts, that was 10 minutes ago for us.
Yeah. See, space and time work differently in podcast
Yeah, see,
world.
we're like that was like the Mandalorian. And this is like the Book of Boba Fett. You gotta watch both to get the whole package.
If a T-Rex is racing at me and I had a fucking machine gun and I shoot it in its fucking
my
face,
gosh.
it's peeling off and going away. It's not running towards me.
What did I tell you? Crazy guest stars. Oh my gosh.
What can you do? Special guest star.
You're welcome,
Heather Locklear.
Locklear.
Future friend of the show.
Kevin's kind of future friend of the show.
I'm
at this
future
point.
friend of the show. Future
Current
past,
Right now he's on
Past,
the show.
past,
but
past best friend.
past
of the show.
best friend of the show. Now future
no.
friend of the
no,
show.
Present, whatever.
Sad.
I did love that.
Marva, are you gonna say next week when I'm not on the show? Are you gonna say?
Where's Kevin?
Please do that. Please do that once, just so.
Kevin. If only Kevin were here.
Oh no.
Oh, look how red I got, dude.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Okay,
breathe.
Continue.
Marva wore red.
I was gonna say that I do love that Omega.
Looks like I'm gonna drop dead. Hold on.
Hey, you think next week we can do
my-
the top 5 droids episode?
Now that's a callback.
That's a callback. Holy crap.
We promise that's coming.
Yeah,
Oh man.
yes, we
Next
do.
week.
Yeah, next week. And
Future friend of the show.
yeah, exactly.
Matt Damon.
Friend of the show, Matt Damon.
I was gonna say I do love that Omega and Tech go back into the ship after the Zilla Beast has escaped, and she's like, I recognize this as all Kaminoan technology, but this is beyond anything that I have seen. And Tech is hacking in and getting all of this information and finds out that Palpatine, before he was Emperor, had this thing cloned and wants to study it and did all this.
He said Supreme Chancellor, which is a cool.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
Prequel loving selves would love that.
Yes, and then at the end of the episode, Hunter's like, send this to Echo and Rex, and I'm like, oh man, this is very cool. Like we just stumbled onto something pretty huge here. We got to send this off to the right people because we can't handle this. This is something more in their purview, which means we're gonna see Echo and Rex. I think we knew that was gonna happen. We
it's
just didn't
because
know
we're
in what
getting-
capacity.
Because we're getting an Echo and Rex live action spinoff.
Yeah, with Luke Skywalker. Yeah.
And it's just called Rex, because there's an echo.
Jesus, Brandon. Oh my God.
I'm so glad I'm leaving the show.
Oh no.
This is going to be... We've had a lot of dumb episodes recently. This is going to be the worst.
This is I don't know. I mean, yeah, okay, sure, why not?
Come on, like imagine like you're watching like the little like Star Wars like do 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 do, and then like the title card of the show.
Can you do that again?
Do 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 do. And then it goes, and then it goes,
Yeah.
then the title card of the show comes up. Rex.
Oh, brother. We're off the rails officially. 17 minutes, 31 seconds in.
Yeah. But and then again going back to Mount Tantus though, all this with Lama Su and I forget the other Kaminoans.
Tonwi.
No, not Tonwi.
It's my
The one that's in
favorite.
prison.
Nala Se.
Nala Se. The fact that
You know, I'm 1 degree separated from Tonwi.
yeah, good for you, buddy. Now Omega is in the crosshairs, no pun intended.
Where's he at? It's been
Honestly,
like 5 episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares?
But now
I don't.
which is interesting because in the beginning of this episode they set up the fact.
break from the show.
Yeah,
I'm on vacation.
Yeah, I think the voice actor.
Crosshair had
couldn't be
some. He had some bad tweets, and they had to take care of them.
I heard he joined the Empire Special Forces.
He's trying
He's
to.
gonna be on a secret mission for a while.
Crosshairs versus Cara Dune.
Oh no!
Dawn of Justice.
Crosshair is going to be in a Ben Shapiro movie.
Oh, okay, all right. So.
Wow. There's the other half that weren't Steve's. They're now gone.
The beginning of this.
You realize that's what Cara Dune went and did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
why I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
I saw Mando. In the beginning of the episode, they established that, and I've been wondering this too. Like, why don't they just leave Sid? But they bring up a good point that she knows information about them. That if she turned it over to the Empire, they could be in big danger from the Empire. And now that this unintentionally, not unintentionally, I guess, Dr. Hemlock has now told this bit of information that if you want to get to what was
Nala Se.
Nala Se. They need to say it more in the episode for me to get it.
Think of the
They
Michael
need to
Jackson
Nala
song.
say it more in the episode.
The what?
They need to Nala say it more.
Oh, Jesus. You're right. This is the dumbest episode.
All right, guys, I gotta go. Sorry.
But now that,
That's what I should have done when the door opened. I should have said, Tonwi's here.
Yeah, you're good
Tonwi's
for
here.
someone like after the fact, Brandon. Very good. Damn.
Yeah, thanks for telling us how clever you are when you get 20 minutes.
Who did soy?
Now that
Boba,
to
get the door.
Oh,
in order to get to Nala's safe, because she doesn't want to cooperate,
you speak
they're like,
that?
go find this other clone. She's a little girl, Omega. They don't know her name is Omega, but now they're being hunted. Omega isn't, and by extension, the Bad Batch. So I think it's gonna be really interesting to see if they do capture Omega, and if what do they
Season
do with
finale,
Omega?
maybe.
Yeah, like
now
this,
the hunter is
now
being
I'm-
hunted.
No, now I'm really curious to see
Get it?
what is going to happen.
She's gonna get captured, and it's all gonna. I don't trust her. Not Omega, the other one. Sorry, her name's
Sid.
Sid. I don't trust Sid.
Oh yeah,
I said that from the first episode.
Is she? What is she? Is she a Trandoshan?
I guess. Yeah.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, all I know is I don't really.
I don't
like
see
Sid,
race.
and,
I don't like Sid either.
that's the purpose of the character.
Species.
but-
Well, Sid was extra. Like when you first see those episodes, because remember I accidentally watched the wrong season when I was trying to catch up. And, like she seemed nice and like, oh, she's like the mission giver and stuff.
Yeah.
But like she's real nasty in this episode. She's kind of like being a
She is.
bitch.
Oh,
I'm
she's
a real
sorry.
bitch.
She seems like she has a
For real.
heart, though.
No,
No way.
don't think
Calling
so.
them
Trandoshans-
goggles and bandana,
Oh,
and saying
yeah.
like, you zip it, you're gonna
Well,
listen
hold
to me.
on,
Like,
hold on. Brandon and I disagree with you on that because we know that characters who give nicknames tend to do that because they have a heart. Like Freckles or Doc or.
Or sometimes they just don't take the effort to learn your actual name, and that's
No,
disrespectful.
She
Sawyer-
says it She says
So-
it though,
listen.
dripping with like
So
attitude.
did Sawyer, and Sawyer had the biggest heart of all the survivors. Although she had
gosh.
Flight 815.
Hurley had the
What are the
biggest
name?
heart,
What are the lottery
probably.
numbers?
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42.
Bam.
Yeah, dude.
We're
come on.
all doomed.
Who doesn't know that?
Yeah.
Don't
You
never
ever-
play.
you-
Never
you-
play
you
that
ever
in the
play that?
lottery though.
Did you ever play it?
No, play it. Don't play it
no,
because
I
you'll
had
share
a-
the you'll
I had
share
a
the
friend-
lottery with
Oh, that's true, actually.
50,000 people.
Yeah, and I had a
That's
friend
true,
who
that's true.
played those numbers in the Schmodown, and he never won.
Was that you?
No, it's Brandon.
I almost spit all over your audio equipment.
Always like you, son of a. I won sometime.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So Dr. Hemlock, everybody.
Did Chundru beat you with those numbers though?
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
such
he
a
did.
dick.
That was such a dick because I was the only. This is sorry, audience. I was the only one that understood when he said 4, 8. I went, "Fuck, those are Brandon's numbers."
Because he's a big Lost
Yeah.
fan also. So the moment I used him for the first time, he knew.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to get under his skin. I'm going to use him next.
That's why I never played the same numbers twice.
Whatever. It's always random. whatever.
That has been our Schmodown corner.
I came here to
Our
kick ass and
retrospective.
say numbers. And I'm all
Come back next
I'm
week
all
when I
out.
talk about my wheel strategy.
I had none.
You'd be surprised to learn about the probabilities. They would shock you.
I thought that's why I'm the special guest this week because I'm a 3-time champion.
That's right. Yeah, we should.
okay.
We'll introduce.
When are you
going
going
to
to interview me about my Schmodown time?
Never.
on Schmodown Inc.
Okay.
Or-
Schmodown.
All right.
What's another company?
S Corp. I have an S Corp.
The-
We call it
Corp?
Schmodown S Corp.
we're
Schmodown
gonna do the Schmoes No trivia show.
No. All right. Okay,
been
moving
fun
on.
before.
In the end, I thought this was a great, fantastic, well constructed episode. top to bottom.
Non-filler.
It
Non-filler.
made me wanting more, though. I want this season to end with Snoke.
I don't think so, but that'd be
What if
wild.
Omega becomes Snoke, bro?
God, what do you?
Well, I
Kevin is leaving the show.
so
Someone's going to take over for all the crazy, wacky
Snoke
theories.
theories.
And I'm going to actually text them
Why
and
don't
be
you
like,
go
hey,
on a
bring
Holy
this
Snokes, okay, Brandon,
Yeah.
where that kind of
So
talk
Omega
belongs.
is Snoke's mom.
I was gonna say
Oh my
I
gosh.
speculated a lot last season that I think Omega might be Force sensitive. I don't think that this season.
Yeah, no.
They've done a pretty good job. I think they intentionally made a point this season to show she isn't.
Yeah.
Because last season there were a few weird hints where she had premonitions and feelings and
There's that one scene where she was sinking into the sinkhole and she started to say, like, hey, Hunter, I got something to tell. Oop, and then got sucked into the sinkhole.
no, that was
Oh, that's Rise of Skywalker.
Shia
Crystal
LaBeouf threw her
Skull.
a snake, right?
I said that was Crystal Skull.
Oh man.
Beat me by that
You want to get to the questions?
Sure.
Archaeologists LLC.
Archaeologists. We should, when the new Indiana Jones comes out, we should do a special episode
agree.
on that.
Okay, so our first question from our Discord. If you want to
Sorry,
ask
Willow.
us, if you ever want to ask us questions, send it in the Discord. Join our Discord. Link is in the description. Whether you're on podcast or YouTube, it's down there.
Oh,
the
I'll be
link.
doing that.
Hop in and go to our Q&A section. And we got one from Channel 019. He asks,
David McKay.
you talked a little bit about How I Met Your Mother past week.
You met my mother?
The guys in How I Met Your Mother talk about Star Wars, but the show ended before Disney bought Lucasfilm. So, what do you think their opinions on the sequel trilogy would be? I really love this question.
Neil
I do
Patrick Harris
too.
would hate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Barney. Fucking hates the sequels.
Any man who had like a stormtrooper in his living room would hate.
Okay,
this
Ted would love
did
it.
you ever notice that the stormtrooper changes halfway through the show?
No, it wasn't that big of a
Oh,
fan.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
was it a clone
it's
trooper?
a clone trooper.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
in the first few seasons, it's a stormtrooper, and then later on, it's a
That
clone.
means
Hell
he
yeah.
liked the prequels. So that
Yeah.
informs you.
That's right.
Yeah, I think he would hate the sequels.
I think he would too. I think Marshall would absolutely love them.
Yes.
Because his whole thing is they're in the Star Wars. They're living the Star Wars. They don't know any different and they're great, right? What's his face?
Ted would do whatever. If he's hanging out with Marshall, he'd love the sequels. If he's hanging out with Barney, he'd hate the sequels.
No, I think Ted
because Ted's a fucking wishy-washy motherfucker.
Ted would get very. Well, look, he's also, as much as a fan he is of Star Wars, he is a fan of Indiana Jones as well. So he is in that universe. So I think he would be a little more. I think he would try and play both sides and try and like guys, we can all love Star Wars.
Yeah.
We can, like
He'd be the
just,
Brandon
I
of-
understand this, and
I actually do love all Star Wars.
and let's see, Robin Scherbatsky would absolutely hate them, and Lily would be like, "What is Star Wars? I don't care."
Lily would be like, just watch Buffy.
Yeah, that's right. Great question there, Channel 019.
I love that. love that
PLD,
question.
yeah, it's one of my favorite ones we had so far, actually.
Oh,
PLD,
Is it weird that I hear everyone's screen names and I'm like, oh yeah, hey David McKay, what's going on?
Yeah, no,
I
good
know
for you, though.
everyone's.
That's
I
good
know
for
what everyone's.
I don't.
you. PLD asks, favorite 5 scoundrels in the Star Wars universe?
5's a lot.
5 is a
Han
lot.
Solo.
Han Solo.
Would you clarify Maz as a scoundrel?
I would based on Force Awakens, and that's kind of my issue with how Maz was used in the latter 2 films.
Sure.
I
Not
would
at
based
all.
on Force Awakens, but not based on the next 2. I think what we should do, we should each nominate one.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
You talk
Hondo.
first. I talk first.
So you're gonna go Hondo.
I'm going Hondo.
I'm gonna go Grief Karga.
Nice.
Ooh, that's good.
Before his high magistrate
Kevin
days.
looks like the gears are still spinning. You could count Poe, right? Poe would be.
I don't want to.
Spice.
He used to
I
run
don't-
space.
Are you sure? Because he didn't until Rise of Skywalker came out.
I just want to say Poe.
Sure.
I like the character.
I'll accept it.
But I don't know.
Kevin, what do you got?
Think about it.
I was gonna say Dash Rendar, but I'm gonna give love to Zori Bliss. I like
Zori
that
Bliss.
character.
I like Zori.
Really?
What
All right.
about
I know you didn't, but I did.
I like Zori too.
Unkar Plutt?
Also PLD because we all know that he was one of the
Sure.
original scoundrels.
So what do we got? We got Han.
Sorry, pal.
We got Han, Hondo, Grief Karga,
I mean,
Poe
Lando.
Dameron.
Lando, definitely.
Poe Dameron, Lando.
Poe
Is
Dameron,
there-
you're alive?
Is there any Knights
There's
of
got
the
to be someone
Republic
from
scoundrels
Legends
that
Yeah, I like Dash Rendar or
come to mind?
I think Atten Rand was kind of in KOTOR 2 as a scoundrel.
okay.
You haven't gotten there
agree
yet.
with that.
Logan Starr.
I'm gonna start playing that in like the next week or two. Actually,
Nice.
Shout out to George Cardos from the Heir to the Empire trilogy.
oh, yeah, I'm trying to think of more like. I have such a high
I
standard
would
for
say
scoundrels.
Lando
for some reason
Calrissian.
Bobek.
yeah.
Bobek's a definite scoundrel, and he's in the arc. He's a special character that we created for my KOTOR movies.
Boba Fett.
Got to give a shout out to
Is he
Bobek,
a-
voice
that's
actor
a bounty
Rick
hunter?
Savage.
I was
He
gonna
was
say,
still
is he an
scoundrel.
Iridonian?
No, Bobek's is human.
Oh,
male.
damn it.
Created by us.
Greedo.
Okay, well,
And
PLD
specifically from the deleted scene from the Phantom Menace.
Okay, fair.
PLD, thanks for the question. Also, folks, PLD and Maddie Gunner do a show called Holy Snow, so go check them out.
Yeah.
They changed their name because of us. Sorry, guys.
Well,
And then we're actually starting our new podcast called Snoke 'em if you got 'em.
I was gonna say Snoke and Aces.
That's good too.
I just love the fact you could hardly get through that. You're fucking
You were
killing
so
me,
happy.
dude.
Yeah, guys, tune into Snoke 'em if you got 'em. Our new Star Wars podcast.
If Snoke shows up at the end of this season, we have to temporarily rebrand our
Yes.
channel for one day,
100%.
one episode called Snoke 'em till you got him.
100%. I will.
Snoke 'em if you got him.
That means so good.
I came up with that as it was coming out of my mouth. So I wasn't prepared.
Could have been much worse.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
I'm like Michael Scott. I'm like, sometimes I just talk and hope a sentence forms.
All right, our next question is from Janine DeBean. Hey, Janine. She asks, who is your favorite new character from any Disney Plus Star Wars show?
Disney Plus Star Wars show.
Yeah, so we got Mando, Book of Boba Fett, Andor, Obi-Wan, Bad Batch,
Season 7 of Clone Wars.
and Season 7 Clone Wars.
I'm gonna answer first because I answered fourth last time.
Sure.
Luthen Rael, easy.
Luthen Rael. Yeah, it's a good
yeah.
one. Very good. Damn.
Yeah.
Good question.
Well, he had that one locked in the
So
chamber.
he's got Bix. I got Tim. Who you got?
That's fair. I'll say, Bix.
Runner up, by the way, Cobb Vanth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cobb.
yeah,
Well, but he is not
He's in a book.
He's
from.
Come on.
But like
Okay.
live action, short, yeah.
I think Cobb's my answer. Or Din.
Din is up there, dude.
Here's my problem with Din.
Damn, man.
Din's
Din's
kind of
great.
dumb.
Well,
He's learning.
He's
still.
a himbo.
Yeah, for sure.
He could literally reclaim Mandalore and have an army of Mandalorians unite behind him, but he's like, I gotta go bathe in the underwater mines.
I need a bath.
I gotta go skinny dip in some sulfur.
So that
water.
lady with the axes lets me
I
come
hope
back.
it looks like that Thor scene from Avengers.
I hope it's just like that. I hope the whole.
With his helmet on.
sees the Infinity
Helmet
Stone.
on.
I hope it's just him with the helmet on, and then it's showing us flashes from Thor 3. I mean the Ahsoka show, right?
Did you answer?
Yeah, Tim.
Tim, but no, I'll also give a shout out to Reva because I
Yeah.
I know she gets
Yeah,
a lot
okay.
of flack, but I think it's a really interesting character.
Yeah,
Let's
for
go
sure.
negative Nancy real quick. And who's your least favorite character?
Oh wow, you scoundrel!
The guy-
I'm a scoundrel.
guy who-
I'm the special guest star. I
The
like to throw
Imperial
those
who
bombs
kicks
out.
over B2 emo.
That's fair.
F that guy.
Oh, mine is B2 emo. Just kidding. It's not.
Marva. No.
I don't know that I have a least
I know, it's like
favorite
tough
that
to-
jumps out at me. Although it's kind of slowly becoming the armorer.
Yeah, kind of a dick.
A little bit, but but not in like such a negative way.
Not in a
you
negative
know?
way. Like
Yeah.
I dislike her because she is.
Oh, I have one. I have one. Book of Boba Fett. I didn't like the Twi'lek guy. I mean, the mayor. He was kind of annoying. I mean, I know he did his job because
Love
you're not
him.
supposed to like him, but he annoyed
You know what?
me.
He has grown on me over time. Every time I watch Book of Boba Fett,
Like a virus.
and like he's grown on me over time. Yes. Like
Okay.
like
I only saw it once, so like the first pass. So if I had a gun in my head right now, that's what I would say.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's
All right,
fair.
come on,
That's
be
fair.
negative. You gotta put one.
Who played someone
You
big?
can't. You
played
gotta
it,
get
didn't
one. You can't get away with it, and don't
Let
say
me
extra.
go- I'm gonna go with
Toro
the kid
Toro
from,
Calican.
yes, Toro Calican. Absolutely hate that dude. Glad he died. Sorry. But I will. I can't. I love them all.
Broom Kid?
He's not Disney Plus, bro.
Really? Because I turned on Disney Plus the other day and I saw him.
God damn it, Brandon. Get out of here. All right. Thanks for the question, Janine.
Way
we
to
have,
dodge my questions, bro.
What? I
You dodged it. Who did you say? Be negative.
He said the kid from.
oh yeah, I was gonna say the season premiere of Mando, the kid in the water.
Oh,
Oh, he met him though.
I met him. He was
I
a
don't
nice
care.
young
Then
man.
next time you tell him, I said.
Oh,
Do more.
So you can call it the kid that's in the show, future friend of the show, by the way.
Friend of the show is
But
his
I
least
can't-
favorite character.
But I can't call out the audio listeners.
That's right, because the kid's not listening to our show.
He could be.
He's not.
That's why he's your least favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were going to say the kid from Mando season 1, and that's why I said Toro Calican.
Oh well, I mean, I do hate him
Yeah.
too, but
I love that act. Is that the name?
Toro
That's his character
Calican.
name.
That was
Yeah, Toro
the
Calican.
other
Yeah.
bounty hunter.
Fantastic name.
it is a pretty cool name, but he sucks.
He sounds like he sells auto parts though. Callahan Auto
Correct
Parts.
me if I'm wrong, but a few weeks ago, I haven't been on the show since Janine had a question for me that I was never able
Oh,
to
yeah.
answer.
If I had my phone, I'd look it up.
I'm
phone
looking
that
for it
was.
right. Meow.
Since we're answering Janine's
Who's
questions.
your least favorite?
Other than the guy that kicked over B2 emo?
Yeah. Oh no.
Okay, so this was
I don't
okay.
know.
So
I'm too optimistic.
Janine, back in February 9th, asked, I find myself comparing the new sequel trilogy to the new Halloween trilogy, the first film taking a look back and playing to the nostalgia of the franchise, the second having some fun yet divisive elements, and the third just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, which is very little. Do you think that's a fair comparison?
I think so. I think like movie studios in general are doing that a lot with like their requels or like their reboots or whatever, where the first one is like a reintroduction to what you love to get you sucked in. So we just saw that with like Scream 5, right? Very similar to the original in a lot of ways, like comfort food, like you're familiar with this. Oh, look, we're at Stu's house. But then like the sequel, like Halloween Kills, is like once they get you sucked in, they're like, all right, now like David Gordon Green's going to do whatever the hell he wants, or Radio Silence is going to do whatever the hell they want, like Scream in New York, what, stuff like that. I know like a lot of horror movie comparisons here, but like same thing with like the sequel trilogy, like Force Awakens, like, hey, like comfort food, like look, Han Solo and the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. George of the Jungle 2.
Yeah. And then Rian Johnson, you know, kind of did something a little divisive with The Last Jedi. Now that they had you in, they're like, all right, let's push the boundaries of what we can do. So like similar vibes with like the Halloween trilogy as well. I would say, although they were not throwing stuff at the wall with Halloween Ends. That movie is the best sequel since the original. And that's the hot take I will give you for the day.
Would you guys agree?
I know nothing about those movies.
Yeah,
so,
me either.
I'm
good
nowhere
question.
near as versed in that as Brandon is, and I think Brandon said it all.
I think you
Tune in next week for Michael Myers.
What's your Halloween podcast gonna be called?
Corporation.
Hey, who wins in a fight, Michael Myers or Kylo Ren?
That's a good, because Kylo Ren have his lightsaber.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question, please.
But Michael Myers, he's the one with the knife, right?
Yeah.
He's got a
big knife.
a laser knife,
Oh, like a vibroblade?
like a lightsaber knife.
Okay. That's tough, man.
While Frank looks up questions.
Kylo Ren uses the Force.
I'm yawning, but I'm not bored
Sure.
or anything. I swear.
my
All I'm saying,
You know, when you say it, it sounds like you are.
It looks really bad.
I think
I
we got
wanted
two
to
more
be
questions.
the moment
Oh,
Michael
it's fair.
Myers starts losing a limb or two, it's over for him. Kylo's going to win, unfortunately.
All right, two more questions here. One's a quick one
I'll be
because
pulling
we've
for
kind
Michael,
of
though.
answered it previously from Iridon 5. He asked if there was an R-rated Star Wars movie before. Yes, you did ask that, and we kind of poo-pooed that one. And what if there is an NC-17 rated movie? Pretty much the same answer we gave for the rated
Well,
R.
so did I answer the R? Oh no, you poo-pooed the R-rated Star Wars.
I want to see
Why would you be against it? I wasn't here.
I want to
Like,
see the
what's wrong with
conception
an
of the
R-rated Star Wars?
twins. I want to see Anakin
my
and
God.
Padme
Shafted
getting it
him.
on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
I think you can do an R-rated Star Wars if, you know.
If it wasn't called Star Wars, yeah.
I think I think
no,
that,
like,
I think that
They have that book, right? There was such a dramatic departure where they had the horror movie, right? And the
Death
cover
Trooper.
is like a.
I want to see
Yeah,
like a.
what if they did a cool, really scary?
I think the-
horror, hold on, let me finish. Like a scary horror movie on like an abandoned spaceship, and you know, like you said, like if it was like that Death Troop or whatever, like you could do it like tastefully. Like we're not looking for a Deadpool type R-rated movie. I'm
Right.
saying, what if you
well,
got
this is
real
what
violence?
this person's asking. But yes, I think we brought up horror last time for this question. But there's plenty
Luke
of,
Skywalker
there's-
versus horror.
There's plenty of horror movies that are PG-13 that are really good.
Yeah.
So you don't need to do R
Yeah, I
to
think
be a
that's
horror.
the-
movie.
And you know they'd be doing R just to like make the headlines.
It's
and
so.
it would be kind of.
I just feel like it goes such against everything that Star Wars
But
is.
if you want to know about NC-17,
like-
show up to the next Scoundrels drink, and we'll talk about Frank's foray into NC-17.
I think what they need to do is like do like
know what I'm
like
talking
because
about,
like Blonde with Ana de Armas, I believe, is NC-17. So
Yeah.
they need to do something like that, but with Padme during the Clone Wars, and she's just constantly calling Anakin Daddy.
oh no.
Oh my
I
god!
don't know what we're talking about.
Oh no.
You ever seen that movie? It's atrocious in so many ways, but she just calls everyone Daddy the whole freaking time, and
guess I'll have to
it's
check it out.
insane.
Never gonna see it.
It's insane. So could you just imagine Padme just like anytime Anakin comes home from war? No. Welcome back, Daddy.
Guys,
No,
guess
no.
what? The Mandalorian episode was late because
I-
Frank was watching that movie
Can
all
I
night
go
instead
to,
of editing.
can I go to
That's
San
not-
Diego with you?
Yeah, come on. I got a guest room, man. You're
Don't.
welcome.
This is not an endorsement. Do not watch Blonde. It's horrible.
Oh fuck.
It's like
You got anything to say?
we're gonna
on
talk about the
this?
human
No.
centipede
Okay.
next.
No,
or what?
I mean, I'm my point is I'm cool with if we get the DB and Weiss Star Wars trilogy ever.
Oh my gosh.
I'm cool with that being in.
like a
Okay.
Game of Thrones. Like if it was,
Yeah.
like if it R-rated, like if you had a crazy Game of Thrones style.
Yeah, I'm
Because Game of
okay-
Thrones, would you call that R-rated or
That's
NC-17?
more than NC-17. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if they had like a, you know, Disney Plus Max, like so they had like an
Yeah,
adult Disney
I
Plus.
think I think the issue is, I think the issue comes down to this. I was just listening to a podcast on the way here, actually, talking about their first experience with the movie Akira, the original animated Akira, and how the video store, like the video rental place he went to get it, had a sticker on it that said "Not for children" because it's a cartoon, and so parents would pick it up for their kids and go, "What's this? Why is there boobs in it?" I think it's kind of the same issue with having NC-17 Star Wars. Well, I think there is an audience for it, and I think that
he's right over there.
I think you'd be open to. Here's the thing,
I'm
Frank.
not gonna watch that.
I think you'd be open to it, so long as it's not taking the place of another Star Wars.
No, I just think I don't understand why a Star Wars story would have to venture into that rating. Like, why? Why would it have to go into that? Like, you can tell
Jabba's Twilight Slaves, a Star Wars story rated
NC-17, but it's Watto's nightlife.
To me, you're not telling a Star Wars story. And like,
well, what do you know?
Because when you get to rated R and NC-17, like those things happen because either just the language involved, which you don't need in Star Wars has its own language, first of all.
Would you have been cool with Gilroy having the "fuck the Empire" line originally, or would that thrown you out?
I think it's way better the way.
I would have thrown me out of it too. You don't want to be thrown out of the story, and I think that would have taken me out of the story. You're saying you would have been a proponent of it.
I would have been cool with it. I prefer the way.
That would make it rated R, right? Or can you have one fuck?
No, you can have one.
She should have said "Poodoo the Empire."
Or
is it Fudu?
Ferric,
Is it Poodoo or Fudu?
Dank Ferric, Carabast. What was the
Blast? I like Blast. They used to say Blast.
They had
Big Damn Doors.
Blast. There was another set that they used too in Legends.
Fracken? Sorry, wrong.
Yeah, that's
wrong
Battlestar, but I think
wrong sci-fi trilogy.
Criff. It was Criff.
The comics used to use Criff. I think comics did that too.
Yeah.
Criff.
Yeah,
so I mean, put $1 in the swear jar,
I don't see a need for it. If you're trying to tell a Star Wars story, I don't see why a Star Wars movie would ever have to be R or NC-17. And plus, that'll just never happen with Disney.
Yeah.
Order!
Question.
Yeah, last question.
I wanted to do that. It's my last thing. Next question.
But you did it twice now.
Now I did it twice.
So this is kind of a repeat question. It was
Comedy happens
only
in
Sean and myself are here for this one. It's from NepNep. Which episode of Star Wars Vision was your favorite and why? Kind of re-asking this one from last week.
Well, because we had said to read, but I haven't rewatched it yet, so
okay. I haven't seen it, but I saw concept art in the stills from and I liked old samurai stuff. So there's that samurai one, the duel. That's what I want to see.
That's the one where he has a
That's the one that
sheath
intrigues
for
me
his
the most. To
lightsaber.
answer your question, Nep,
That's cool.
The samurai one intrigues me the most.
I will say after
energy though.
I will say after reviewing Visions, The Bride and The Twins, those two episodes really stick out to me. I think the Twins one is. If it's not the duel, which I do like the duel a lot, I think Twins is probably a close second, or a close tie for first. I think it's very interesting stories.
Isn't Twins an NC-17?
Good Lord. Okay, that's the end of the episode.
See you later, folks. I'm out. Miss you guys. I'll be back. And in greater numbers.
Scoundrel. I like the sound of that.